From field to apothecary, yarrow's powerful benefits, uses, and how to grow it. Meet yarrow, the warrior herb. Yarrow, known to botanists as Achillea millefolium, is a feathery, fern-leafed herb with clusters of white or pastel flowers that has followed humans for thousands of years as a wound healer, fever breaker, and digestive ally. Its name comes from the Greek hero Achilles, who, according to legend, used yarrow on the battlefield to stop the bleeding of wounded soldiers, which is why it's sometimes called soldier's woundwort. Today we know that yarrow contains anti-inflammatory, antispasmodic, antioxidant, antimicrobial, and mild pain-relieving compounds, giving real weight to that old battlefield story. In this video, you will see what yarrow does in the body, how to use it as teas, tinctures, poultices, and salves, and how easy it is to grow and harvest this resilient plant at home. What yarrow is, and why herbalists love it. Yarrow is a hardy perennial in the daisy family, native to temperate regions across the northern hemisphere, thriving along roadsides, meadows, and garden borders. The species name millefolium means 1,000 leaves, describing the many finely divided leaf segments that give yarrow its soft, fern-like texture. It sends up upright stems topped with flat clusters of tiny flowers, usually white in the wild, with garden varieties also in yellow, pink, and red. Herbalists mainly use the flowering tops and leaves, though some traditions also use the roots for stronger, topical pain support. Its strong, bitter aromatic flavor hints at its connection to digestion, circulation, and the body's inflammatory and immune responses. How yarrow works in the body. Inside the delicate leaves and flowers, yarrow carries essential oils, flavonoids, and sesquiterpene lactones that work together to calm inflammation, relax spasms, fight microbes, and support wound healing. Some of its flavonoids and oils have been shown to influence inflammatory pathways and reduce certain pro-inflammatory mediators. That helps explain why yarrow has been used on hot, irritated skin and in teas for fevers and joint aches. Other constituents act on smooth muscle, which helps relieve spasms in the digestive tract and uterus, and there are early findings suggesting antioxidant and metabolic benefits that may support blood sugar balance and general resilience. Health benefits: skin, wounds, and first aid. Yarrow's most famous role is in first aid and skincare. Traditionally, it's used as a vulnerary, wound healer, and styptic to slow bleeding, especially for small cuts, scrapes, and nosebleeds. Crushed fresh leaves can be applied as a quick poultice to minor bleeding wounds, helping tighten tissues and support clotting. Herbal salves, washes, and compresses with yarrow are often used for bruises, inflamed skin, varicose veins, and hemorrhoids, where there is irritation, mild oozing, and heat. For many herbalists, it's one of the first plants they recommend for a home herbal first aid kit. Health benefits: fevers, colds, and circulation. Yarrow is a classic fever herb, often used at the first signs of a cold or flu. It's considered a relaxing diaphoretic, meaning it can ease tension while gently encouraging sweating, helping the body move through a fever more comfortably. In formulas, it's often paired with elderflower and peppermint as a cold and flu tea to open pores, warm the body, and help release stuck heat. Some traditional and modern sources also highlight its support for circulation and blood vessels, using it in blends for mild high blood pressure, poor peripheral circulation, and general stuckness in the system. While human studies are limited, its long history in fever and circulation support makes it a trusted ally in many herbal households. Health benefits: digestion, menstruation, and urinary tract. Because yarrow is both bitter and aromatic, it's a reliable digestive ally. Bitters stimulate digestive secretions, while the aromatic oils help relax spasms and disperse gas. Herbalists use yarrow tea or tincture for sluggish digestion, cramping, gas, and general, overfull discomfort after heavy meals. It also has a long history as a pelvic herb. Many practitioners consider it a uterine and pelvic tonic that can both move stagnant blood and tone lax tissues. It appears in formulas for menstrual cramps, heavy or stagnant menstrual flow, and pelvic congestion, often combined with other herbs to tailor its actions. Yarrow's astringent and antimicrobial properties have also made it a traditional choice for irritated urinary tracts, especially when there is burning and frequency, though persistent UTIs should always be properly evaluated by a clinician. Ways to use yarrow: tea and tincture. Yarrow tea is one of the simplest ways to use the plant. A small amount of dried flowering tops and leaves can be steeped for 10 to 15 minutes and sipped warm for fevers, chills, or early-stage colds, often alongside elderflower and peppermint. For digestion, a small cup before or after meals can act as a digestive bitter and carminative to ease gas and cramping. Because the taste is strong and somewhat bitter, many people blend it with milder herbs like chamomile or lemon balm. Tincture is a more concentrated, convenient form. A few drops or drops in water can be used in formulas for cramps, fevers, and circulation support. It's especially useful when someone doesn't want hot tea or needs an easy bottle to carry on the go. Ways to use yarrow: topical care and steams. Topically, yarrow is incredibly versatile. Fresh or rehydrated leaves and flowers can be mashed into a poultice and placed on minor cuts, scrapes, and bruises to slow bleeding and soothe tissues. Infused oils and salves made with yarrow are popular for varicose veins, hemorrhoids, and irritated skin, often combined with herbs like calendula or plantain. Infused oils and salves made with yarrow are popular for varicose veins, hemorrhoids, and irritated skin, often combined with herbs like calendula or plantain. Steams made with hot water poured over yarrow are another traditional method, with the rising vapors inhaled for sinus congestion and early colds. Safety and who should be careful. Even though yarrow is a common wildflower, it's still a strong medicinal plant and deserves respect. It belongs to the Asteraceae family, so anyone with known allergies to daisies, ragweed, or similar plants should approach cautiously or avoid it. Yarrow is usually not recommended internally during pregnancy because of its traditional uterine-stimulating effects. People on blood-thinning medications, blood pressure drugs, or other long-term prescriptions should talk with a healthcare provider or knowledgeable practitioner before using yarrow regularly. How to grow yarrow easily at home. One of the best things about yarrow is how easy it is to grow. It thrives in full sun and well-draining soil and actually prefers lean, dry conditions rather than rich, heavily fertilized beds. You can start it from seed in spring or fall by pressing the tiny seeds onto the surface of the soil and keeping them lightly moist until they sprout. Yarrow also spreads as a perennial clump, and older plants can be divided in early spring or fall. Just lift the clump, slice it into sections, and replant with a bit of spacing. Once established, yarrow is drought-tolerant, needs very little care, and benefits from deadheading spent flowers to encourage more blooms and reduce self-seeding, if you like a tidy garden. Harvesting and drying your yarrow. For medicine, harvest the aerial parts when the flowers are fully open and vibrant, usually in mid to late summer. cut the top third of the plant flower clusters plus attached leaves on a dry day after the dew has dried. Spread or hang the plant material in a warm, shaded, well-ventilated area until it is completely dry and crisp, then store it in airtight containers away from light and heat. Properly dried yarrow can be used throughout the year for teas, tinctures, oils, and salves. If you choose to work with roots, they're usually dug in fall or early spring, cleaned, chopped, and dried for later use in stronger poultices and decoctions. Bringing yarrow into your life. Yarrow is one of those plants that proves just how powerful a simple wildflower can be. From battlefield legend to modern herbal ally, it offers support for wounds, fevers, digestion, menstrual and urinary complaints, and overall resilience, while also being one of the easiest herbs to grow in a sunny corner of your yard. With just a few plants, you can create teas, tinctures, poultices, salves, and steams that connect you back to a very old tradition of working with the land for your health. Thanks so much for spending this time together today. If you haven't already, hit like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss future videos, and please share this with a friend who loves herbs and natural healing as much as you do.